Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. Y'all already know what it is. So let's get to it. The thoughts, views, and opinions are that of my own. I cannot be bought. I am not a salesman, and I am not your financial advisor. This is all entertainment. Let's go. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. This is your host EQ, and welcome to the Cipher. This is episode number 6, episode number 3 of the Verses. A cipher is a person, place, a thing within my circumference. The understanding of my cipher is peace. Today, we're going to be doing a great one with a good friend of mine. He goes by the name of TLTG Reviews. Put some money in the chat. Put some money in the chat. It's a whole party tonight. Y'all already know what it is. Let's go. Let me see that fire in the chat. Vibe with me. Let me see them Senator Days in the chat. All them Senator Days. Let's rock. I hope y'all loving this collaboration thing we got going on in Fragcom. Let's go. It's a whole vibe. Don't forget to tip your bartenders. Let's go. I got a cup of water, but if you got your drinks, pour it up. What's up, everybody? Again, this is episode number 6 of the Cipher. This is also episode number 3 of the Verses. We got a couple of bangers coming up, but today we're going to talk about the top 10 spring signature scents of 2023. Y'all know how this Verses goes. If you ain't new to it, this is a Verses battle that I call Verscents, because it only makes sense. So, what we're going to bring to a guy who started off his career in Fragcom, or his journey as far as video reviewing, back in July 11th of 2019. His first video was Not So Citrusy Scents, and he had that big ATV. That was part, and fragrances on the table, excuse me. Listen, man, this is one of the hardest working people in the game. This gentleman has shown my channel love when I was under 1,000, he showed love. And something about character. Listen, I don't care about the rumors, the trolls, but I judge a man based on how I see him, right? He doesn't just do that for me. He does that for other channels, not just for me. So he's not looking to gain nothing out of it. I appreciate that. That's a real one. He works so hard. And when I say, if you're thinking about getting to this game, it's all about consistency. He went from his lower number, I believe, when I caught wind of him, around 10K, give or take, or maybe 5. He's now at 61K. That is consistency. He is a member of the Z Creators. He had 2 fragrances, Business Over Pleasure and Evening Mystique. This is my brother, your brother, our other. We're going to give it up for my guy, TLTG Reviews. Let's give it up, everybody.
Man.
Money in the chat. Let's go.
What an intro, man. Thank you so much, EQ, my man.
Listen,
bro, that's an intro right there.
Listen, brother, you know, my thing is all about, I show love to those who show love. That's just the reality of it. Big Beard always show love, Darian, you, and a few others who we have going on. And my thing is reciprocation. But again, this isn't something that I've seen you just do for me. I've seen you do that for other channels as I come on your random lives on occasions. I don't always comment, but I try to make more attempt to comment on it to show love because it helps out the channel. Everybody who you watching, go ahead and hit the like button. Don't forget the like button. So we're gonna talk about top 10 spring signature scents of 2023. How would you define a signature scent? How do you define it?
Man, so, and this is one of my favorite times of year because I like them fresh, I like them green, and nothing says spring like fresh and green to me. So for me, a signature scent, which in what we do with the collections we have, there's no such thing as a signature scent. But boy, there's a few that we could look at that if I wanted to take this little pile and this is all I'm going to wear, for the enthusiast, it's going to be a pile. For the everyday regular consumer that's going to wear a fragrance, it's that one. So what encompasses a good that one? You know what I mean? So it's something that no matter what you're wearing, where you're going, what you're doing, the time of year, it's going to work in that situation. It's not going to be too playful. It's not going to be too serious. It's not going to be too heavy. It's not going to be too light, regardless of how long it lasts on your skin. That's different for everyone. But it comes down to what can you live with? What sillage can you live with all day long, no matter what you're doing? It's for you. At the end of the day, you got to wear it for you. Somebody else wants to tell you smell nice, that's great. But what can you live in all day long? And what can you wear no matter the occasion? That's what makes a signature scent for me.
Brother, I absolutely and utterly agree with that. You know, a signature scent to me is definitely something that you can be defined by. You know, I always tell people, you don't have to buy everything that we recommend. Again, everything on this list, people, I don't want to speak for Ross. He's a grown man. He can speak for himself. I don't speak for other men. But I don't care if you buy any of these fragrances, all of them or none of them. I really get no kickback from it. I'm just giving recommendations and telling you things I love, but you don't need this many fragrances. Let's just be honest. A good signature scent is something that people know you buy. So it needs to be able to do everything, right? Date night, first impressions, maybe office, casual, dressed up, wedding. Like it's a Gerber tool for those who are not familiar with a Gerber tool. So that's how I would describe a signature scent. So people, if it's your first time hitting the verses, let me give you the rules of the verses. We're going pound for pound. He's going to do number 10. I'm going to do number 10, 9. I do 9, so on and so on. At the halfway point, at number 5, we swap. And then I go first and he goes second. That's how it's going to be. Some of the things that we're going to talk about, people, if you want to get your pen and paper and your pad together, are some key points that we're definitely going to attempt to hit on. Those points are scent, the overview. This is what y'all see on most top 10s. This is, you know, a quick overview of the fragrance, how we describe it. We don't care about the notes. Y'all are smart enough to get on Fragrantica and Google for yourself. You can, and most of the time, Fragrantica long. Well, I ain't gonna say most of the time, but Fragranica's been wrong. But you know how to use Google
more often than people realize.
Yes, so you can Google and do that on your own. So we're just gonna tell you what the experience is like. Occasions. What do I mean by occasions? Well, a signature scent, so it can go in any way, but there are some signature scents that are better suited maybe for a different occasion than others. But we'll get through that as we get to the fragrance if that plays a part. We'll get to projection and longevity. Listen, this is all on a individual basis. What works for me, if I get 10 hours, don't mean that you're guaranteed to get 10 hours. So on and so on. So always test your fragrances, get samples, and see how that works for you. Compliment rating and compliment factor. Is this something that's mass appealing? I venture to say a lot of them will be, but we both like challenging scents at times. Sometimes we just like them for us, so it might not have that compliment factor, but we will discuss the compliment factor. The type of person is for. That can be age. It's I know Ross has a large variety of age. Most of my age is around 25 and up, kind of more mature. But listen, you could be somebody 21 watching this, and there might be a few in here that I can pull out that you might actually enjoy. So we'll get into age or what kind of style a person is for business, you know, that kind of person. And then how to wear it, how many sprays. We might talk about if I'm going on a date, I'll put this many sprays, how I will spray it, so on and so on. So with that being said, let's get ready to rumble.
Let's do this. I'm so excited.
Let's
and
go,
look,
brother.
Just a quick one for you guys. Neither one of us are the heavy spray type. So you're expecting to hear somebody say 20 sprays of something? I don't think you're going to get that in this video.
real quick, before we do that, let's take care of the business, right? Let's pay what I call pay the bills. What was your scent of the day today? Let's talk about it real quick.
So my scent of the day today is actually in this list, so I can't really do that, unless you saw it on Instagram. Then you saw it on Instagram, but it's about midway through this 10.
Okay, well, my scent of the day is from the House of Guerlain. It's an easy wear, doesn't have the greatest longevity, but it gets done what I want to get done. It's a nice casual. You can dress it up. It is a vetiver scent. I think it's very fresh, has a minty feel, sort of mojito, and that's Low Bois from Guerlain. Like, at least years ago, you can get this at the discounters for under $40. I think it is a great refined scent. Great for casual wear, dressed up. You want to go to a wedding, first date. When you talk about spring and green, this is a good one to have. So that was my scent of the day. So let's go ahead and let's just get it rocking, because that's what the people want to see. Guys, y'all know the rule. Fire in the chat for me, money in the chat for my guests. Let's go. You're up, Ross.
So for me, my first one was an easy one. Myself and EQ actually had a conversation, and this one came up in conversation the other day. And when I spoke to him earlier today, I said, there's a reason I'm starting with this one, just in case he was going to pull it out. I'm shutting that shit down. We're going with Maison Francis Kurkdjian. This is Aqua Celestia Forte. This is an absolute personal favorite of mine for the spring. When we're talking fresh and green, I don't know if it really gets much better as far as ease of wear, longevity without being overbearing. There's a nice fresh lime and mint leaf note here with a mild green petitgrain that really kind of just adds this soft yet elegant feel to the fragrance. Again, where it's not too playful, but not too serious, kind of like what we were talking about with our thoughts on a signature scent. This one for me is kind of my favorite from MFK. I do have a few bottles from them. I do have another discovery set from them. So I've gotten my nose on a lot of their offerings. And even though that may be blasphemy for some, like I was saying in my intro earlier, I like them fresh. I like them green. Springtime is kind of my favorite time of year. Fall being a close second, because these are our transitional seasons where you can get away with some heavier stuff some days, some fresher stuff others. But for me, I had to set the tone right away with Maison Francis Kurkdjian Aqua Celestia Forte. Like I said, in the 8 to 10 hour range on my skin, not too loud, everyday wear. No specific occasions. I don't think this one shines more in any one situation better than the other.
That is a good one, and yes, that is a good one, people.
I had a feeling
that is a good one. This was going to be on it, and I definitely concur with everything you saying. I get great longevity, crazy projection, crazy sillage on this, easy to wear, Sprite in the bottle, very fizzy, and that's something I didn't get with the clones. I didn't get that fizziness and that lemon lime Sprite, but that is solid
as well. Wife's big fan of this one too.
Oh, yeah.
As far as compliment factor, I have gotten nothing noteworthy where it was like that was a memorable moment kind of thing, outside of how much my wife really enjoys when I wear this one. So as far as that compliment factor, the final point that I forgot to touch on, I wouldn't call it some massive compliment getter, but I can't imagine somebody smelling you, and whether they say it or not, I can't imagine them not thinking you smell very nice with something like this.
That's a good one, brother. So you beat me to the punch. That is a good
plan.
One. I had a feeling that was going to come out. So I had to do some thinking. So I want to go with a fragrance that smells of spring. Very juicy, bright, fruity, little sweetness. Something that's unisex. I find that unisex scents give great compliments, because a woman will smell you and she'll compliment you because she also wants to wear it for herself. This is easy to wear. I think I was one of the first people to get a bottle. I bought it. I didn't get it for free. I paid for this. But when you got this bottle, I said it was one of the best pineapple fragrances on the absolute market, and it doesn't smell like a vintage.
I know where this is going.
This, my friends, is a ray of sunshine. This is sexiness. It's well blended. It is compliment factor. You can wear this playfully. I wouldn't dress this up as much, but we'll get into that. This is coming from the house of Kajal, and this is Lamar, the golden one. Now, oh my God.
My favorite from the house.
This is ripe sweet pineapple. And then it has this red berry nuance or accord or note to it that makes the pineapple juicy. So it's all these other notes. I believe apple's in there. So the apple, I believe that's in there, makes the pineapple crisp. I don't really smell like green apple. I just feel like it gives the pineapple a crisp feel to it. The berries give the pineapple a sweet ripeness to it, very juicy, almost syrupy, but not. It has that fantasy note, that cashmerean that gives almost this ambery woody feel on top of cedar and musk to add some cleanness. To me, this is a daytime scent, a wonderful daytime scent. You can wear this at night. Occasions, again, I like this more casual than more dressed up and formal. If you're a woman watching this can be your signature scent. You can wear this daytime, nighttime. It really doesn't even make a difference. When you go into projection and longevity and projection, I'm getting every bit of almost 8+ hours on this is what I'm getting on it. Almost sometimes in a 10, depending on the humidity and what's going on, but I get really good longevity and projection on this. Compliment rating and factor, this is up there. When you want to put on a scale of 1 to 10, the compliment rating, I'm putting it at a 10. And the reason is because of the unisex feel to it. Again, women love it because they want to wear it, and you're wearing it. There's where the compliments come from. Type of person is for, I think you can be a younger person wearing this. You can really get away with this, in my personal opinion. You could be 21. You can be 21 and up and get away with this. It's a very playful, flirty feel to it. How to wear this, I generally speaking, I go about, if I'm going on a date, probably 3 sprays. If I'm going to be in a crowd of people, like going to the Dream Festival out Raleigh, North Carolina, I'll probably go like 6 or 8 because I want to get that good sillage. It's going to be outside. It's a festival. But this is overall, I stay within the 3 to 8, depending on where I'm at and what I'm doing. Again, great scent. This is from the house of Kajal, and this is Lamar.
Bringing the heat. That's what I'm talking about.
You already know how we got to do it.
My man, you coming out with the fire emojis now. I mean, that's good stuff. There's no secret. That's my favorite from the house. I was blessed to do the launch video for that one.
Mm-hmm.
I get a lot of the marigold from that one. Do you get a lot of the marigold on your skin?
Not as much. On my skin, I get some of the spices. I believe, what is it, coriander or coumarin or something in there?
I want to say there's some coumarin in there.
Yeah, so I get some spiciness, but I really get a lot of the fruits. I get the vanilla that adds some creaminess, the musk also cleanness, and I get some woods. That's basically what I get off skin. I find on paper, I get a little bit of different thing, but I mean, we wear our fragrances. We don't spray on the paper, right? So that's kind of what I get from it. What you got, number 9?
So next for me, this is kind of, if there's such a thing as a niche blue fragrance, I mean, no secret, big fan of blues, but this is kind of more of a big boy blue fragrance in many ways. Soft, subtle note of leather. It's even a little smoky on my skin. It does use some modern synthetics with Isoe Super, for example. A lot of it here, you're going to get some grapefruit. We're talking about from Armand Jane. This is Montebaco Verano. Woo! Beautiful tobacco leather, soft woods. This is just a stunner, an everyday assertive fragrance. This is, like I said, the big boys blue fragrance. This isn't, you're going to work and you have all these younger guys working with you that are wearing your Dior Sauvages and your Bleu de Chanels. You're turning women's heads with this fragrance. You're not chasing little girls with this type of blue fragrance. And then you're not necessarily chasing in that aspect, because this is getting shit done without kind of being too abrasive or arrogant about your actions, if that makes sense. Because like I said, it's a very grown up, kind of mature take on what I would consider a mass appealing blue. This is not one that needs to be sprayed heavily. Performance on my skin is kind of bonkers and kind of unnecessary in many ways. This is a 4 or 5 sprayer at most for me, and that's in open areas. You can easily get away with 3 sprays if you kind of want to dial it back just a little bit. But the sillage, at least on my skin, is pretty immense. This is one that dresses up very, very well, but also gets away easily with a t-shirt like I'm wearing right now, an MTV t-shirt with a flat bill on. It's all about confidence in what you wear. And even though this one smells like something that would have a little bit more of a serious edge to it, don't let your fragrance wear you. This is one of those fragrances. Armand Jane, Montebaco Verano.
That's a good one. I've heard a lot of great things about that. I heard it has a really good citrusy grapefruit note, almost like a
Indeed.
Bulgari Tiger, very, very fruity, but it goes in this different direction. So I've heard great things about that one. Did you get into the I think you got into projection, longevity, and how many sprays, right? I believe you got into that.
Yeah, I talked about the sprays and my sillage. Longevity, easily 10-hour range. Easily.
Good.
This is a long-lasting fragrance. You don't need much. This is one that can be a less is more type of thing if you want to leave a little room for discovery. Like I said, this is a head turner. This has not necessarily an elegant appeal to it, but a slightly more mature appeal to it. Hence why I started off saying the big boys blue fragrance.
Hey, I know that's right. So that's a good one. Okay. Let's get it in. Let's battle.
I'm ready.
Okay. Coming up in my number 9, this fragrance I would describe as spring and summer in a bottle. This is extremely floral and creamy. It has notes of neroli, orange blossom, the ylang-ylang, petitgrain, oranges, mandarin oranges, very creamy. I would describe this as an orange creamsicle. Very buttery, slightly powdery. This is elegance in a bottle. This is luxury in a bottle. This is well blended. This is just unisex, and you can never go wrong with it. This is coming from the house of Boadicea the Victorious, and this is Valiant. Now, I'm going to tell you now, this is one that off of your skin. So I need to do more lives in a video on really how to properly wear your fragrance. Understand, people, that when you walk by somebody, you're not like a walking test strip where they're in smelling notes on you, right? That's not what's happening. You're in an environment and they're smelling the environment with you. If I was, I worked in a metal factory, would I wear this? Probably not. But when you're outside, it's spring. The cherry blossoms are out there. And I believe this has cherry blossom in it. You're walking. I live in the Washington, D.C. area. They got the cherry blossom parade. You're walking around there. You're having a good time. It's spring. Florals are on the ground. And you pair it with this and you pass somebody, it is God tier fragrance. Occasions, casual, dressed up. If I'm coming to your wedding, I'm coming. I'm not the best man. I'm not one of the groomsmen, and I'm not the groom, but I'm somebody in the crowd. I'll probably wear this to your spring day wedding, day party wedding. I'm probably wearing this, and depending on the ambiance, I might even wear this at night. This is great for that. This is also great casually, so I like this fragrance. Projection and longevity. It's from the house of Boadicea. You're going to get 8-10 hours plus. Listen, do you need to ask any more than that? Just stop counting. You're going to smell good for the bulk of the day. You're going to be smelling absolutely fantastic. And as your body temperature rises, it just starts getting wafts and wafts. This is amazing. Compliment rating and factor. I give it about a 7. I haven't gotten many, but I also don't wear it as frequently. This year, I'm going to try to get more wear with it. But the times I have worn it, I have received sporadic compliments, nothing too crazy. So I'm not even going to hype it to say that it's one of those guaranteed compliment pullers. I'm not going to do that, but you will get compliments. You're going on a first date somewhere, I will pull something like this off. You're going on a date with your lady, I will pull something like this off. Type of person this is for. Because of the price of the bottle, I'm going to give you 30. I got to give you 30. I mean, it's a $1,000 bottle. I'm not even going to hold you. Again, like I said before, I'm not telling you to buy anything. Sample it, see if it's worth it for you. When y'all ask me, is it worth it? Worth is all on the eye of the beholder. That's up to you if something is worth it. How to wear this? I generally go 4 sprays on this. I always go shoulders. I go back of the neck, and I might do the clavicles in just an event, depending on what I'm wearing. If I'm wearing a collared shirt or if I'm wearing a t-shirt, I'll do that. And if I'm going out, also do behind the knees. Y'all know I love behind the knees action. Pause. So that is my number 9. That's from the house of Boadicea the Victorious, and that's Valiant.
But we're trying to cut each other's throats, huh?
Hey, listen, man. This is a battle. You never know what the next person going to bring out, and that's why I like this platform. Let's go.
I love it, man. I love it. This is some good stuff right here, man. I'm loving that we're doing this. This is an awesome series that you're doing, EQ. So for me,
I see. Hold on, real quick. I see we got 209 in there, and I want to say this. Give me a second, Ross.
Sure.
I know a few of y'all put super chats in there, and I know how it normally goes in most lives. I'm not trying to be rude. I want to, put on a show and hit the guests, and I don't want to interrupt them to give shout outs to the super chats. So I just want to give the super chats shout outs. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys. And I just want to put that out there because a lot of times, those guys really support us. They put the super chats out there, and you want to read their compliments, their comments, but it's really about us interacting, trying to get a complete show. So I don't always have time to stop. But I just want to get that out. I'm sorry, Ross. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. Do what you got to do, host.
You're number 8, brother.
Number 8. So with number 8, I'm pulling out kind of you got to be in the know about this one. The masses don't know about this fragrance. This is kind of a cult classic. It's got its following. Admittedly, one I haven't been wearing much, but I'm going to keep it on the rotation table for this spring. This one's very unisex. It's a little fizzy. It's got a little bit of the bubbly in it. There's a creamy citrus, soft woody tone, very aromatic. Etain Libre d'Orange. This is Remarkable People. This is an in the know fragrance. Not everybody knows about this one. Just the enthusiasts in the community know about this one. So, like I said, a little bit of the bubbly. It's got this beautiful champagne note that doesn't make it a boozy fragrance. If anything, it adds a soft, elegant, fizzy, and effervescent tone to this grapefruit citrus smell at the top that's even a little creamy. The woods here are very soft. It's not deep and complex. There's not a ton of layers to peel back. It's pretty cut and dry from start to finish, minus subbing out some of the citrus for more of the woods as it dries. But this is a great casual daily wear scent in the spring. Casual, and I would say indoor work settings. Not something I would really want to wear in the evenings unless you're just going out for a hangout or having drinks, meeting up. Not necessarily a dinner date fragrance, though obviously everything here could work for every occasion. This is one that suits the casual and indoor work setting a bit more, in my opinion. Not a beast in longevity. I get in the 6 to 8 hour range, which is right in my wheelhouse of the sweet spot, especially for something on the fresher side like this is. Though I typically like the greener style fragrances for the spring, there's just something unique about this while still being a crowd pleaser at the same time. This is, like I said, casual and workwear. So anywhere's from laid back t-shirt to polos and Oxfords and so on. I believe you can get away with this one with a suit on a warmer spring day for sure. Compliment factor, in my experience, not really high, but it's definitely a little bit of a conversation piece for somebody that maybe hasn't smelled a scent profile like this before. Like I said, a bit of uniqueness while still being on the mass appealing, crowd pleasing side of scent profiles. So this is one that I just had to include in this because it's just something special in my opinion that doesn't get enough love. This is Etain Libre d'Orange, Remarkable People.
That's a good one. See, God, this is why I love this. This is one that Ross, my guy TLTG would just not. He probably wouldn't do a review on it. It's just not like you would do it, but you won't.
I did a full review on it a couple years ago.
But it's not something that you talk about frequently. But in an event like this, when you're battling, this is an opportunity for my brother and I to really pull out some heavy hitters, stuff we don't talk about all the time, and really kind of break it down for you in a format that doesn't seem like we're playing an algorithm. So, and listen, that's a whole nother conversation about reviewing an algorithm game, but we're going to keep this battle going. All right.
I'm ready.
We're at number 8, right?
Yes, sir.
So my number 8, I want to go with something that, people, and I want y'all to walk with me and feel me on this. You know how you got a collection that's absolutely remarkable. Hey, you, my niece snobs, where you at? I know y'all feel me on this. $1,000 bottles, 700, 500 for a 50 ml, like nothing. And you just be like, this is remarkable. But then you will say, I want to wear something easy going today. And unfortunately, when you walk out the house, people love it. And you be like, but I wore this fragrance the other day. Why? And they love it. This is probably one of the best fragrances that you can buy for under $100. I'm not even going to prolong you. If you watch my last battle, I talked about it. For spring, I think it's worthy to talk about it again. This is a signature scent fragrance, and this is coming from Essential Parfums, and this is Bois Impérial. Listen, people, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Is it overly complex? To me, it's not. Does it smell like Ganymede? I think Ganymede is better. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's better to me. But for the price you're paying for this and everything you get, it knocks out 90% of anything that you're gonna buy from Macy's. It just does. Compliments crazy. When I wear this, I almost get this, and it's crazy because it has vetiver and other woody notes and basil and ambroxan and patchouli, and you would think you would get something extremely dirty and earthy, but instead I get something that's fresh, very invigorating, inviting, almost like clean linen. It just, the way it just wafts off of my skin and the scent trail is ridiculous. Again, people, I don't want to hype it, but when you're somebody on a budget and you've been watching these battles, and I'm talking about $1,000 Valiant and things of that nature, it comes to show you, you don't have to spend a lot of money to get the head turning effects that you want. Wear what you want for you, but when you want to please other people, Bois Impérial is absolutely crazy. Occasions, you can dress this up, you can go somewhere formal, you can wear this casually. Projection longevity, the scent trail is crazy. I don't find this to be a room filler, and I'm glad it's not. But it's something that people within your vicinity will catch wafts of it. Compliment rating and compliment factor. For me, I found this is a 10 out of 10 for compliments. It's just, I don't know anybody who smelled it that doesn't like it. Now, I know, listen, niche snob, look at me again. I know you're going to say, y'all hyping it up too much. It's really, I find it to be kind of blah and normal. Yeah, McDonald's is blah and normal, but it's the #1 burger joint in the world. I don't know why, but people like it. And at times you want to wear something that just hits like that. Don't have to be your whole collection, but every now and then you want something like that. Type of person is for, I think you can be a young man wearing this. I think you could be in your 20s to your 60s and rock this. It's too easy to wear. How to wear it, I normally go about 4 sprays on this. 3 if I'm in, like, let's say I'm going to the movies, probably 2. If I'm somewhere like out and about, maybe about 5 or 6. We'll see. I haven't had this. I didn't get this last summer, so we'll see what it does in spring and summer. This is a fairly new acquisition in the fall that I got, but we'll see how it performs in that weather, so I can't tell you that. Again, this is probably one of the best fragrances you can buy for under $100, and this is Bois Impérial from Essential Parfums.
I tried that one with Justin. That is more wearable than Ganymede. I think Ganymede's better too. But for an everyday situation, that's the better choice for sure.
It's just easy to wear. Doesn't matter what age you are. You can just get it. It is probably the most intelligent. You know, everybody use dumb reach. I got to be different. It is.
I say easy reach.
Yeah. It is literally one of the most intelligent. Like you say, I want to go outside. I want to be smart. I want to be intelligent. It's buy that. It's just. Sample it, see if it works for you. Everything's not for everybody, and you can get samples from Lucky Scent and all sorts of places. So you don't have to jump out and buy it. But I think it's a great fragrance. What you got, brother? Number 7.
So it's funny the way the flow is going here, because mine's in a similar vein to what you went with Bois Impérial. So, who doesn't like a good freshie? Well, I think this is great for younger men. Obviously, any age can rock this, but the younger men that like the citrus fragrances, if you want to step your citrus game up, get a bit more authentic and believable. This is in many ways spring in a bottle to me. Purely casual. I can't see this dressing up super well, but it's from Aqua de Parma. This is Colonia Club. Colonia Pura, sorry. I wore Colonia Club the other day. So you're getting that authentic citrus that they're known for, more so on the mass appealing side than the Italian style. It's not quite as zesty. It is watery. You have a little bit of a white floral tone. There's some neroli here, clean musks, soft woods, light vetiver. this is the next level of taking your Freshie game up a notch, because it's very authentic and believable. Just a delight to smell on yourself. You're not punching people in the nose with a fragrance like this, no matter how much you want to spray it. It is an eau de cologne concentration, as are a lot of their fresh fragrances, but the authenticity of the smell from the oils that they use, the way they blend their fragrances, you just can't go wrong. I've gotten my nose on a lot of Aqua de Parma fragrances in the last 6 months, and this is still my favorite. When it comes to their freshies, this is still my personal favorite. And like I said a moment ago, spring in a bottle. Occasions, casual, day off, laid back, running around, out and about, especially those warmer spring days where, you know, you're going to get your sweat on a little bit, even walking to the car. You know, as we get closer into the summer, you need that refreshing, easygoing scent. Yes, you can get away with this one at work as well. I mean, who does, like I said before, who doesn't love a good freshie? Compliment factor high on this one. When people smell this, they're going to like this. In my experience, very, very high. Not complete magnet type of high, but up there for sure. Again, ages and occasions, I would think young men on up. This is one that they can really appreciate if they want to kind of, like I said, step their Freshie game up a bit from the generic run-of-the-mill freshies and citrus dominant fragrances of the designer world, and you're not going to spend a ton of money. Anywhere from $60 to $80 range, you can get a 100 milliliter bottle of this. Aqua de Parma Colonia Pura, for me, one of the best freshies for this time of year.
Listen, this is one thing I always tell people is people say, well, how do you build your collection? That's another video. Do whatever you do, don't build it like behind me. If I wasn't reviewing and trying to do content as sporadic as I am, yeah, I got to do better, y'all. I'm so sorry. I apologize because y'all do really rock with me, and I really apologize for that. But I would sell half of this if I wasn't. You don't need that, but you need just that clean, easy, non-complex. I spend all my money. The bulk of my expensive fragrances are for my winter fragrances because I like more depth. In the summertime, I start going clones. I start going easy to wear, easy to reach fragrances. I don't need complexity. It just works for me. So that's a good one. You can never go wrong with a freshie in this time.
Absolutely.
And you said you can get that for how much again?
I paid $59 for a full presentation from Kingdom Fragrances last year, right around the springtime. I've seen it's gone up a little bit, right around $70. And it's as believable of a citrus and fresh green fragrance as it gets. It's great. It smells great.
So you want to go freshy. I could have went 2 places with this, and we're at 10, 8. This is number 7, right?
Number 7, sir.
So I could have went. I want to go freshy here. We'll go freshy.
Okay.
And this fragrance, I did a first impression on this fragrance, and although this is extremely simplistic, and for the simplicity of it, it's rather some can say that it's rather expensive for the simplicity, but again, I'm not telling you to buy it. But when I tell you that with this style of fragrances, and I have many bergamot style fragrances, I have Xerjoff Neo, which I was debating about putting on this list. I have a few other bergamot fragrances, but this one, when I wore this fragrance, the first day I got it, I received 3 compliments. And when I say compliments, I'm talking stranger danger. They do not know me. They was going on throughout their day, minding their own doggone business, and they said, "Excuse me, you smell really nice." Keep in mind, I wasn't in a suit. I wasn't casually dressed. I think I had like some gym clothes and some Crocs. So it wasn't like, well, you was looking fresh. That's not it. I was kind of bumming it out. I was just doing some random runs. 3 compliments. This is probably my favorite kind of bergamot freshie as of now. This is coming from the house of Kilian, and this is Cologne, Shield of Protection. Now, people, this is bergamot. I believe mints in here. It almost gives like a eucalyptus kind of feel. Some rosemary, I believe. Some woodiness. It's petitgrain, so you get that bergamot petitgrain thing. So for those who don't know, you have different leaves of the orange tree, right? You have orange blossom. You have neroli. You have petitgrain. I find all three of those to be different. I really don't like Orange Blossom as much. I find it to be too much white floral, which I'm not the biggest fan of. But Petitgrain has this green citrusy feel to it, and it pairs well with bergamot. One thing I like about bergamot and fragrances is it, although it's fruity, it has this rosy nuance to it, this floral nuance to bergamot, which is why it's used in a lot of fragrances. Keep in mind, old school chypres. What is it? Chypre. You have your bergamot, you have labdanum, and you have oak moss. Your fougères, you have your bergamot, you have your lavender, you have your oak moss. Bergamot just works in fragrances, especially when you want to add a little floral to it. This is absolutely stunning on me. Occasions, because of the freshness, I think when you wear something fresh, first date, date night, great summer scent, hot weather though. So this isn't as versatile because if it's one of those cold spring transitional winter spring fields, I wouldn't reach for this that much. But when you start going full spring and spring to summer, there's this floral aspect to it that I absolutely love. This is very casual wear, but you can dress this up as well. It's just very clean. Projection and longevity. It's not a room filler, but I left a hefty sillage as I walked around the places I was going to. Absolutely great. Compliment rating and compliment factor. Listen, I personally have received the utmost compliments on this particular fragrance. I absolutely love it. Type of person is for, it's a freshie. You can go to the gamut, your 20s and up, but because it's a Kilian, it's a 50 ml and it's upwards of 250. I mean, if you got it, you got it. If you don't, that's fine. There are other fragrances like this in the bergamot style from Bergamot 22 Le Labo, but this one is personally my favorite. And how to wear this, I normally go about six to eight. 6 to 8 is where I'm at, the range of 6 to 8 sprays. Again, this is my number 7, and that's Kilian Kologne.
I'm loving the flow of this, the irony of the flow of this because of what I have next based off of your story just now. 3 is an interesting number for compliments for the first time you wore that. Because I too got 3 compliments in one place of business the first time I wore this one. So this is kind of my more unisex, slightly feminine leaning fragrance. I know you covered a unisex one earlier with Lamar. Well, this is kind of centered around the note of iodine water jasmine, a very specific watery floral tone. There's spices, there's yellow florals, there's spearmint, there's mint leaf, beautiful, creamy, fresh floral that definitely leans on the feminine side. I was doing a blood donation at Vitalant. I got 3 compliments inside that building from the lady that checked me in to check my blood pressure, the lady that took my blood, and the lady that signed me in at the front desk with Rose et Marius. This translates from French to English in a stopover in the creeks. This fragrance still surprises me every single time I smell this. This is much more casual leaning, though I could see someone wanting to pull this off in kind of a special occasion event like a wedding, for example. There's an elegance to this, warmer outdoor wedding type of settings, because it's very fresh, watery, creamy, and floral. The citrus isn't overdone here. The spearmint and the mint leaf don't kind of overtake the opening, and it definitely leans on the feminine side. This is a different type of elegance and floral tone that I don't think too many young men would greatly appreciate. This is more into that enthusiast level, though leaning casual overall in its scent profile, because not everybody's so secure in their masculinity to rock this level of white floral and yellow floral combination. That's why I could see somebody like EQ really enjoying this, because that man likes his florals. Whereas any of you watching right now, this is one you may not have heard of, a brand you may have never seen this bottle style before. I got this from our friends at Fragrapedia House, sent it my way not that long ago. I did a full review on this one, and it continues to impress me. This is one I would encourage everybody to get a sample of if you're a fan of florals, you like the more unisex style niche perfumes out there, and you want something that maybe you haven't smelled before that's very casual and easygoing. and very assertive in a way. Like it's kind of a freeing type of scent where it's, when I say feminine leaning, I don't mean very girly. Some feminine leaning fragrances smell like they would be better on women. Not the case here. I think this is perfectly unisex leaning for a man that likes fresh florals. This is an extremely high compliment factor. Like I started this story with, literally the first time I wore it, 3 different ladies gave me a compliment. Could not believe how great I smelled. Could not believe I was wearing something that smelled like this. Kind of threw him for a loop, because you see a guy coming in a, you know, supplement company hoodie with a team flat bill on, you don't expect to smell this on them 9 times out of 10. So that is my pick right here at number 6. Rose et Marius. This translates to a stopover in the creeks, because I'm not even going to try to butcher the name.
That sounds amazing. And yes, I love a good floral. Now, most of y'all know who's watched me for a while. I'm not in the jasmine. Jasmine has to be done right. It can almost be too indolic, which comes off very fleshy and animalic, or it can go into this heady white floral thing that I just can't stand. It's almost headache inducing. I get that in like Amber Calabria, but in most floral, that creaminess, I love my florals.
On the creamy side.
I love my florals. Okay, that's a good one.
Man, makes me want to wear it tomorrow just smelling it.
I was gonna go green. Okay. You did floral, so let me hit you with a newer acquisition floral. Okay.
Hit me.
So this fragrance here is a newer acquisition of mine. This is coming from a small independent company. When I was sent this fragrance, and I was sent this fragrance, full transparency, I was blown away. It's a unisex feel. This is my favorite from the house. I'm still getting to know this fragrance, but for spring, this is gonna rock. It leans feminine, man. So if you're one of those, I need a fougere, strong sheep, this ain't really for you. I'm gonna be honest, but it has a very feminine feel to it, but yet some strong masculinity to it with some woods. I feel like there's a sandalwood accord in here that's not listed. This is coming from the house of Savoir Faire. This is public offering number 7, and this is Ebonesssence. This, when I talked to him and I did my review, or I did my one-on-one interview with him, he said this was like taking ebony and essence together and putting it together. This, my friends, has this sandalwood, floral, yet fruity, a little bit of incense feel to it. This smells like you're on a long walk. You're gonna do a picnic, old school style, taking your girl out to a picnic. You lay your little blanket down. You got your strawberries and some wine there. You're dressed good with a nice straw top hat. Listen, this is classic. This is one I want to smell coming off the thigh of a woman. This is sexy, people. But on a man, it just gives off this cloud of cleanness. And that's one thing I like about my spring fragrances is this almost drier sheet kind of flowery feel. It's highly complimented. This is just, I love unisex fragrances because men, if you stay with a woman or you have a woman, y'all can share fragrances and y'all can both get compliments. This is one I'm still getting to know, but this is one that's just so smooth. No rough edges. And for him to be a self-taught perfumer, putting them together and hand poured out the box, is my number 2 behind Soul Cafe. And this is from public offering number 7. This is Ebonesssence. Occasions, again, this has a casual feel to it that leans feminine. Projection and longevity. I got 8 hours on this. I'm still wearing it out, haven't worn it in the hot weather, but in the wintertime, cold weather, I'm getting 8 hours on this. Compliment rating and compliment factor. I haven't worn it enough. I'm going to put it at about the 4.3. I received the, oh, you smell nice, but that was from people I know, not from strangers, so I'm not going to boost it and say this hype compliment factor, but the compliments I did say, those are the kind of feedbacks I got. It's very nice. It's very pretty. It's very soft. Has a really comforting feel. It's kind of drawing me in. That's what I was told when I asked people to kind of describe what they were getting from this. Type of person this is for unisex. This is unisex, lean, and feminine. If you're a man, okay with that, fine. If you're a woman, you need to have this in your life. I want to smell this on you. And how to wear this, again, I'm thinking about 6-7 sprays is what I've been feeling. But in the spring and summertime, because it's a new release, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you how you should wear that. So coming in at number 6, that's public offering number 7, Ebonesssence.
I've never tried that one. I've heard a lot of great things about Soul Cafe. I just haven't. This is the first time I'm hearing about Ebonesssence.
Yeah, so yeah, that's his new one. He released that, I think, around the time we did our live. And when I say I'm really enjoying it, again, just like with Bois Impérial, I like that kind of like soft, a little bit of iris or orris butter, very pretty, almost powdery floral. In the spring, it just is very comforting, and you would just.
I mean, who are you talking to, man?
You just
with iris. Come on now.
Listen, man.
I love my iris.
If you're a player, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. Okay, y'all, we at halftime. We are at halftime. I want to go ahead and see money in the chat for Ross. Let's get it. Money in the chat for Ross. Let me see money in the chat for Ross. Find the chat for me. Who y'all think getting it so far? We at number 6, going to number 5. Let's go.
This is a tough one right here, man. This is a tough one. I feel like it's not we jabbing each other back and forth. We trying to drop each other over and over.
Absolutely. Everybody, we at 277 on the live, 277 on the live. Let's hit the like button, please.
Hit that like.
Hit the like button. All right. So I got to start off the show. When I did with Darian and Big Beard, I hate it because I know it's heat following behind me, and I almost want to go second, but it's only fair at half.
It's only fair, for sure.
Fair. So I have to swing.
So now I'm going to play off of what you do. Now it's the other way around.
It really is.
Yep.
I could go what people expect, but I'm gonna go with a great one. So I'm gonna go with a really good one that I like. This fragrance, people, is my this was my most worn fragrance in 2022 because we're already into the month of March now. There's no point in me doing my best fragrances of 2022. This is my most compliment fragrance of 2022. Most compliment, without a doubt. My most worn fragrance of 2022. This comes from a house that when I first came on, I talked about a lot. Somebody, I think in our chat said, who's going to be the first one to drop Mancera? Well, that's going to be me, people. When it comes to summertime fragrances, Mancera just does what it does, and it does it well. This is one that is signature scent worthy and is right behind Instant Crush. It might overtook it last year for my most complimented Mancera. My most worn fragrance all last year. This is from the house of Mancera. This is Vetiver Sensual.
That's not where I thought you were going with that.
If you, Ross, brother, my most worn, I got this last year, I believe. Listen, everything behind me.
That's a huge dent. Yeah.
This is people love this. I gotta drink some water.
That's a huge dent.
Brother, it works. This is vetiver. This has some lime in it, some fruits, some musk. Very clean vetiver. Nothing like Guerlain's vetiver. Very wearable. If you like Tom Ford's gray vetiver.
Speechless.
I got this last year. I believe last year. Look at the dent. Speaks for itself. Occasions, Any. Projection longevity. It's a Mancera. 10 hours plus. Longevity, just 10 hours plus. Projection, great scent trail, great. Compliment rating and compliment factor. For me, I'm telling you, this is at my number 2 most. I almost went somewhere else. It has leaped what y'all thought I was going to say. Excuse me. It leaped Pearl for most complimented. It leaped Pearl last year. It leaped it. Sorry. I love Pearl. It leaped Pearl last year. Compliments through the roof. Let me see. Type of person is for. I think you can be 25. It's a very clean, wearable, citrus, aromatic, woody, spicy fragrance. The mint adds some spice to it. It's woody with the vetiver. It's fruits. It's just, and that lime. I'm starting to really like lime in fragrances when it comes to spring, summer. Love it. Lime, bergamot, some orange. Great. And how to wear this. I go for a minimum. When I wear this, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to rein them in. Work, safe. After work, safe. Day party, safe. Wedding, safe. Business, safe. Going to bed, out the shower, safe. Vetiver Sensual. Vetiver Sensual. If you have it, put fire in the chat for it. Vetiver Sensual, my most worn fragrance of last year. My number 1 fragrance of last year.
I thought it was going to be Pearl.
It you know what? Pearl is my number 3, and Pearl is a monster. But I had to be honest and true. If I did a top 10 most worn fragrances of 2022 and most complimented, it wasn't even close.
While we're talking about Manceras, I'd like to formally blame you for my purchase of Soleil d'Italie.
Oh,
you're the reason I bought that bottle. So I'd like
another
to say,
dent. Another dent in it. Another dent.
That's another one I thought you might potentially have in this video.
Oh, it's on my desk. It's ready to go.
That's why I bring it up. I'd like to formally blame you for that purchase. But as you said, who's going to go with Mancera first? It was going to be one of us because, of course, we both have Mancera, right? So for me, this is blue number 2. I got 2 niche blues in this video, and this one is unique while being a complete crowd pleaser. It's deep without being overbearing and too much. It's not like you can't pick out the notes. It's fruity without being too sweet. It's fresh. There's a smoky incense note. There's a crisp and spicy ginger. It is Mancera's Aqua Wood. I have been having a love affair with this fragrance as of late. I bought it a few months ago, did a first impressions, and said, that is perfect for spring, and I have been saving it until now. I've just recently started wearing it a few times and talking about it on my channel. Like I said, deep without being too complex. The character overall, it's got a warmth, it's got a spice, it's got a little bit of an ambery feel. There's a little bit of florals here, but it's mostly about the pear citrus combo. It's fruity fresh, little sweet, while still having, like I said, that ginger kind of takes over with this smoky incense note and a soft woody backbone as it dries down, a little warm wood from this ambery woody type of accord. And like he was saying, performance Mancera, 10 hours easy. The trail is always going to linger. Their fragrances are as bang for your buck as they get from discounters with the performance you get, the quality of the scent. Usually some of them lean a bit more on the unique side, whereas this isn't super unique, but it also doesn't remind me of any other fragrance. Occasions, every single one of them, you name it, go easier on the sprays in a warmer situation. Indoors, maybe dial it back a little bit because like we said, performance is on the stronger side with Mancera. More open area, outdoors, anything like that, dial it up a few more. Typically 4 to 5 sprays for me overall. Outdoor setting, I would go more in the 7 spray range just to get a, kind of add some heft to the sillage because the longevity is not going to be an issue. Dresses up, dresses down. I think this works great in the evenings if you're the type that likes something crowd pleasing that will kind of draw her in, whether it be your significant other, First date, this would be a decent fragrance for that as well. Wife is a big fan of this one. Haven't gotten any compliments as of yet outside of my own wife, because like I said, I just started wearing this one. I've worn it 3 times in the last couple of weeks. This one had to be in this video. This is one of the first fragrances I thought of because, like I said, kind of having a love affair with this one right now. It's Aqua Wood by Mancera. Super, super under the radar.
Outstanding. I smelt that one because I have the other ones, but even though you can get them for such a good price, what, under $100 for the most part?
$70 for that one.
Yeah, even though you can, I still, as of late, have a hard time buying anything just because it's cheap. But that goes back to a video that I'm going to do as I continue to do these lives, is really getting to why are you buying what you're buying. But that's going to be a video and a live for another day. Mancera they make great fragrances anyway. Like, I would almost tell people before you start, I have friends and they were like, let's go to Macy's and pick something up. I'd be like, no, let's just buy Mancera. If you're going to start buying stuff at the Macy's counter outside of Dior or whatever, just go straight to.
You can make a diverse collection just from what Pierre Montal has created between the two houses. There's so much to explore and so many different discovery kits to just find if you just want to get 2. There's so many to go through. You could spend $100, get 2 discovery kits, and try 30 or 40 of his fragrances. You know?
Absolutely. So I did Vetiver Sensual as my number 5, and we're going to go number 4. And I know we originally thought about doing a green list. So I'm going to go green, right? And this fragrance I'm going to go for is going to be for the Vetiver lover in you. This is, hold on, did I hear Ross say something real quick? I want to make sure I got you. Real quick. Here. All right. Did everybody else hear Ross? I want to make sure. Y'all got Ross? Give me a thumbs up.
I muted myself as soon as you went full screen. Okay.
All right. I just want to make sure, brother.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this fragrance is literally spring in the bottle. When we were in lockdown in 2020, which was a wild year, one day we're going to tell our kids and our grandkids how wild 2020 was. People were dying. But when people weren't going outside and you were stacking up toilet paper, this is a fragrance that every single morning I woke up. Because remember, I believe that was like February 20th something when we went on lockdown. And we were going into the spring when it was getting heavy. Every day I smelt this bottle. This smells like freshly cut grass. This is for my true vetiver lovers. I mean, true. You like a little bit of earth. You like a little bit of green grassy. You like a little bit of freshness. If you claim to like vetiver, you have to get your nose on it. This is from an independent fragrance house, from somebody who used to review fragrance. One of the most cerebral fragrance reviewers in the game, who fell back because he's doing fragrances. This is from Motif Olfactif, and this is Vetu de Vert. When I tell you, if you like vetiver, this is better than Sultan vetiver to me. It just is. And when I say this smells like the number 6 aisle at Home Depot, I just made up that aisle. I don't know, number 6 might be tools and screws. It could be, but it smells like you're on the outside garden aisle. You get a little bit of topsoil. You get a little bit of grass, some oak moss. I believe yuzu's in here. It's fresh. And to be honest, I was like, it has a dirtiness to it, almost a little smokiness as well, almost like Guerlain vetiver. But I find this way more attractive and more wearable than Guerlain's vetiver. The compliments that I didn't think I would get with this, I thought this was one of those, I like to wear it, so I want to wear it. But I received great compliments. Again, people, how you wear your fragrance, remember the environment you are around. You're outside. You know, when you first wake up in the spring, you know why spring feels so good? When you first walk through the door and you smell that air, that wet dew grass. That's what this reminds me of. This is spring in the bottle. Occasions, casual, dressed up. Listen, if you like vetiver, wear it. Projection and longevity, 5 sprays, you're gonna get that longevity, 8+ hours on this, great projection, not a room filler, but really good projection. Compliment rate and compliment factor, I give it about a 4 out of 10. Nothing crazy. I wasn't chased down the street, but I have received compliments. I've received only one since I've had it, since 2020, from a stranger, but everybody was like, oh, that smells nice. That's why the compliments don't always come, people. If you just smell nice, sometimes people just ain't gonna compliment you. Type of person is for a person who loves Vetiver. You have to love Vetiver to enjoy this one. How to wear it, again, 4 to 5 sprays is kind of how I go with this particular fragrance. Outstanding, and that's my number 4. That's Vetu, the Vert, for the Vetiver lover in you.
See, I'm not the Sultan Vetiver type, the earthy, super dirty Vetivers.
Yeah, you don't like that.
Don't typically work for me. It's my skin chemistry.
But sometimes this will work for you.
That's different. You know, their Vetivers work. When it's the fresher Vetivers, they seem to work. Because you've probably heard me say this. Sometimes it'll come across kind of like roach spray on my skin.
Yes. I think you said that a couple days ago on a live, maybe, I believe. I was watching.
Sometimes that does happen. It's certain ones, so it's very touchy with niche Vetivers for me. And even certain designer ones, Terre d'Hermes. I can't wear any of them. None of them smell good on me except OHV, the newest one. That's the only one that works for me.
That is a good one.
It's so fresh and just it's mouth-watering.
If I was gonna do a video for like 2 fragrances you need to smell like ice bottle, it would be Dior Homme Cologne in that one. It has a very cooling effect. Like everything around you is cooler when you wear those 2 fragrances. Go ahead with you, brother.
So next, this is actually my scent of the day. I have 4 sprays of this around my neck currently. We'll start off with its performance. It's all day. I've had it on for 9 hours currently. It's still going strong. I keep getting random whiffs of my sillage when I turn my head and stuff. This is an exclusive to Kingdom Fragrances. This is from a niche house called Aulenyissma. This is OHV Gutt B. This is one that our host EQ would love because it is super juicy lime dominant in the opening. This is all about the lime. It's an aromatic fougere based around lime, not lemon. You know, most aromatic fougères kind of center their top note around lemon bergamot. Well, this does have a little bit of bergamot, but a dominating lime note. There's some moss here. There's basil, fresh green, a little spicy and herbal, but like I said, just mouth-watering, super juicy, make you smack your lips type of lime juice at the top. This is gorgeous, and it's an all-day spray. For those that like freshies with some character, because it is a fougere at its core. It's got the herbs, it's got the tonka bean, coumarin, and it's dried down, a little musk, a little bit of amber, all of this standard stuff you expect from that classic fougere scent profile. Just change out your lemons and your grapefruits and such, or your heavy bergamot for lime. And that is what you get here. This is a great everyday work scent. Not the greatest evening wear scent unless you're the type that doesn't like any of the sweet fragrances or today. You don't like heavy spices or tobaccos. You don't really want to venture outside of that. You want more of a classic style, just done really well, high quality, long lasting, something you can be proud to wear. This is that type of scent profile. Compliment factor, honestly, haven't received any yet. I've only worn this one twice thus far. I don't even know if my wife has really smelled this one. So unfortunately, that particular category, I can't weigh in. But like I said, occasions for this one, anything and everything, geared more towards the daytime. It is a refined work scent because of the quality of this fragrance. It's high-end niche. And like I said, another thing that really plays into the fun factor for this is it's an exclusive to my friend's store. So shout outs to Steve over at Kingdom Fragrances for having a niche house make an exclusive for him. This is something that's definitely worth trying. You can get samples for just, $4 or $5. If you want a fougere that's a little bit different, just a little different, you might want to try this one. OHV Gutt B. Such a strange name.
Shout out to Steve over at Kingdom Fragrance. Shout out to Steve. I know he used to review. Great guy, but I know he's been focused on the business now. So shout out to him over at Kingdom Fragrance. Got a lot of good prices for y'all like designers. Just another avenue to get fragrances, people. Another avenue. Sure. And y'all know I typically don't talk about them because don't talk about most places get fragrances just because I don't work with them. But Steve is a good dude and he deserves a shout out on this channel. That is a good one.
So you would like this one since you like lime so much these days. You would like it.
Yeah, I'm definitely want to get into like really lime. I need to pick up Bohemian lime this year. I smelled it 2 years ago.
It's been out for about 2 years now.
Yeah, I like it. I just need to pick it up. It's a summer scent. I don't know why I'm spending a lot of money on summer fragrances. You just don't need to, right? You really don't. So
if you got a handful of them, you got enough.
That's it. You just don't need. My winter fragrances, I'm all in. I drop bags on those. My summers, I'm not spending that much, but that's kind of counterintuitive because I just told y'all a lot of fragrances I spent a lot of money on, so that's kind of funny. Anyway, 5, 4, 3. My number 3. I had to do it because I feel like you're gonna do it, so I'm gonna beat you to the punch. This is spring in a bottle. It has a greenness to it, a freshness to it, spicy. It's aromatic. It's musky, very clean, very juicy, fruity, with a little bit of fig in it. No, it is not pearl. This fragrance lasts forever. If you need a spring fragrance, this is the one you need. If you want a long-lasting tea fragrance, this is the one you need, coming from the house of Nishane. This is Wulong Cha. I had to do it. I was holding on.
Look, dude asked in the chat earlier, no Wulong Cha, Ross? That's hilarious.
This, again, people, if y'all can just scan behind me. Let me just move to the side.
That's a great pick, man.
I have bangers. So when I tell you, just look at the dents. Do I really need to say a lot in how I feel about a fragrance? When you see this big of a dent when I have this many fragrances, I can literally wear one fragrance a day, and I wouldn't wear all my fragrances for the year. And that's not a flex. I'm just telling you, when you see something like this, that's how much I love it. The proof is in the pudding. Overview, it is a tea fragrance. If you think of fragrances like Elizabeth Arden tea, one fragrance I say it is very similar to this, but a more affordable version is Banana Republic 78 Vintage Green. I kind of get a very similar feel to it, but this one is strong and has legs. And when the heat hits it, be mindful, depending on where you are with heat, humidity. I would say test this out. Please, by all means, test it out. One spray, go throughout your day when you're not going nowhere, and just kind of gauge. Because how I wear it over here in the DC metropolitan region and how you wear it in Arizona is going to be, or how you wear it in Florida, all 3 different types of heat, right? Or even Louisiana, where you used to be, right? Or Texas. It's just a different kind of heat. So you get that tea, very bright fruitiness. Occasions. This is casual. This is day party. This is something you can wear to a wedding. If I'm a guest, I'll wear this. If I'm one of the groomsmen, I will wear this too. And this is when I'm a groomsman and I'm trying to get one of the brides, the maid of honors. I'm probably wearing this because I'm trying to, see what's good. So I'll probably wear something like this. This is a good one. So occasions, I think it has great legs, especially in the spring. Something you can wear every day. It's a unisex fragrance. Projection longevity is Nishane. It's going to perform and last. It's going to push out. It got legs. Don't overspray it. You don't need to. Trust me, people just will enjoy this. Compliment rating, compliment factor. This is every bit of an 8 out of 10 compliment factor rating. I haven't found anybody who didn't like it, but doesn't mean that people are going to chase you down and be like, you smell amazing. What is it? Because it has that familiar scent. If you smell Elizabeth Arden green tea and fragrances like it, it has that very familiar scent DNA, but it's different. It's just luxury, well blended. I like it more. Age range. I think what, 23? I believe you can be 23 and up. You can almost go 20. I think it's a very playful scent. I think this, you can go the gamut of age on this. Just be careful because it has a loudness to it. I believe that a young person could wear this to like a club kind of environment in the daytime. I believe it's going to work. Like you go to yacht parties. My guys go to yacht parties. You can wear this at a yacht party. How to wear it. If you're in close part, you're going to the movies, you only need like 1.5, maybe 2 sprays. Don't do more than that. You're going to choke everybody out. You're going on a date. maybe 2 sprays. You're gonna be out at a festival, 4, 5, maybe 6 if you outside. If you really wanted to have legs, you can do that. And that's Wulong Cha from Nishane.
That's an awesome pick. It's funny that you said, see, I knew that you would expect stuff like that from me. So that's not what I put here. And literally, it was said in the chat earlier. There's people that are expecting me to pick that one because I'm such a fan of it.
It's
Excellent
a good one.
choice. Excellent choice.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
It's one of the more unique fresh fragrances because of I think it's an oolong tea note that's in there.
Yes.
It's magnificent. There's a
it's almost note. Like a black tea, almost.
So for me, my follow-up for this one is going to be one that maybe nobody's even heard of. This is from an independent perfumer. This is Indie Niche. This is from a brand called Untamed Perfumes. It's very unisex. It's an interesting name. It's an even more interesting thirst-quenching type of scent profile. This is Untamed Perfumes My Greek Lover. So this has white grapes. This has quince. This has other citruses, florals, a lot of jasmine here, but not overdone. Not as much jasmine as the previous fragrance that I spoke of that featured the water jasmine. This, like I said, if there's such a scent that can encompass what it's like to quench your thirst, this is what I would consider to be that scent profile. Very unisex, does not lean masculine nor feminine in any way. This is a great daytime scent. This is a great yacht party scent. Not really something I would want to go to the club with. Obviously, not that I do any clubbing these days anymore anyways, but it's one that I just got to spray it. It's almost like a zest to it. It's this quench. I know that I said quince is one of the notes, but it has this thirst quenching appeal to it. I know I keep going back to that. It's just so unique, and the white grapes really stand out. That's why I made it a point to bring that specific note up. Think of green grapes, for example. That kind of distinctive smell they have when you're eating them is kind of encapsulated in this scent profile. Quite lovely. Nothing like I've smelled before. My favorite from the house. They have 7 fragrances now at this point. Quality is top tier. They're extracts. They come in 30 ml bottles. This is a 3 to 4 spray max fragrance. Room filling potential here beyond that. The sillage on this one is immense. Big time compliment factor. This is for anyone, I would say 25 and up, because I just don't see younger guys really appreciating this. I'm not saying these guys aren't out there. I'm not saying you're not a 23-year-old, for example, watching this right now that wouldn't appreciate this. I'm just saying, based on experience, I can't really see too many guys leaning towards this. I feel like a little bit higher age range, maybe educated palate, I guess we could say, more experienced palate, would appreciate this one more because it's so different. Not challenging different, just super unique different. This is, if I was to recommend you try one thing from Untamed Perfumes, it's definitely My Greek Lover. Like I said, compliment factor, I would say at minimum it's an 8 out of 10. Daytime scent, not the best in the evenings unless you just want something that's going to make a bit of a statement because of the power and the uniqueness. It can definitely do that, but it's very, very fresh. Has a lot of legs, like EQ was saying about Wulong Cha, has a lot of legs. It'll surprise you for how fresh it is. This kind of walks that same path. Unique, but strong.
That sounds good. See, I see, that's, again, listen, I'm not trying to get myself calm, but this is why I like hearing about stuff that you don't hear about every day, even from the people who I like to watch. I'm going to force you to jump out there because I'm going to bring some heat, and you just can't bring something you talk about every day. So these are things that they're not just not going to hear you talk about every day. Okay.
That was the plan.
I'm going into my number 2. Now, I'm not even, listen, I got love for you, brother. I do.
I'm ready.
But I'm about to throw an amazing haymaker. You're going to hit the ground with this. I don't know if you're going to get up from this. This could be the knockout blow. It really could. This fragrance is... I
ain't got no glass jaw. Come on now.
Listen. This fragrance is like a cloud. A spring cloud. This is unisex. When you talk about spring, florals, cleanliness, that dryer sheet feel, luxury, well blended, sexy, inviting, comforting, draw somebody in, it gets no better than this. This thing has legs and it performs. This is from the house of Initio. This is Musk Therapy. Talk to me nice. Talk to me nice. Musk Therapy is absolutely amazing. Again, gentlemen, if you are one of those, I need a traditional masculine, aromatic, chypre, fougere scent, by all means, go with Hashavat. Go with it. It was on the table. Or go with Fougere Royale. You can go with it. But when you want something that everybody around you guaranteed will love, you cannot go wrong with Musk Therapy. Again, talk to me nice. Occasions. This smells like a white t-shirt fragrance, but it also smells like a guy who's driving a Maserati on a nice drive or convertible, driving on the hills of California. It smells like that guy too, with some nice glasses on, his Rolex watch, and just going on a cruise. It smells like a wedding. It smells like a bride walking down. It smells like a groom walking down. This smells like everybody. This smells like happiness in a bottle. This smells like pleasing everyone around you. This is Musk Therapy. Projection longevity, 8+ hours on this. It's not, I don't find it to be a room filler, but I also don't overspray. So take that with a grain of salt. But I generally go about 5 to 4 sprays and I get the desired effect that I want to get with it. Type of person is for. Everybody's not going to appreciate Musk. And I think if you're younger, especially if you're a woman, you can wear this if you're younger. If you're a man, you can wear this if you're younger, but you know, you're kind of still at the blue fragrance, kind of sweet Armani cold thing. There's nothing wrong with that. Take your time. Everybody's not going to get into magnolia and the florals. So I'm going to start saying like 27, 30, because you can start appreciating something like this when you can start appreciating florals. But again, if you appreciate florals, if you appreciate musk that comes off soapy, very clean, almost powdery, you'll appreciate this. How to wear it, again, I go about 5 sprays. Musk Therapy from the house of Initio. Talk to me nice.
I'm going to talk to you, but I don't think it's going to be nice. I don't think anybody. Shout out to the 324 people watching currently that I'm about to piss off.
Oh, sure. Talk to me.
So I will preface this with it was on paper. So I haven't experienced it on skin. Andrea pulled this out in a smelling rate. I gave it a 4.5 out of 10. I was very unimpressed. Again, it was on paper. You can only get so much out of paper. On skin, I might love it. But on paper, I didn't get it. It was very bland. Could have just been because of the test. I'm sure it was because of the test strip, because I've heard a bunch of people praise this fragrance. And my only experience with it was very underwhelming. Bet you weren't expecting that. So there's 300. Look, we went from 324 to 314. 10 people got pissed off and left.
Talk to him. Talk to him.
With that said, you know, you did mention that I might pull this out in your Instagram post, and you know it had to be. And I thought, should I have it in the first 5? Should I save it for the second 5? It's the fragrance from the house I wear the most. It's incredible. It's kind of my travel scent in many ways. Not too many airplanes I've been on in the last year where I didn't have this on my skin. But when you want to talk about sweet citrus, fresh greens, deep and rich woods, and a shame that they took this off the market, rename it and bring it back. Raja Dove, Raja Parfum's Oligarch Parfum.
Don Juan DeMarco Air horns, hit the air horns, fire, put the money in the chat, money in the chat, money in the chat, money in the chat, money in the chat.
I had to bring this one out. It's so good. It's superior. My first impressions, I was like, okay, it's really good, but I think the Eau de Parfum's better because it's brighter in the top. No. This, you know those, you remember the window stickers that they always had the little guy pissing on like the Ford logo or the Chevy logo?
Right.
Picture this is the bottle pissing on the Eau de Parfum. This is far superior in every way. Performance is absurd for this scent profile. 12 plus easily. Strong sillage. This is a 4 to 5 spray if you want to show out type of fragrance. 2 to 3 sprays. Take it from me. If you're the heavy spray type, you're choking everybody out because of the authenticity and just quality of these oils. You're not easily going nose blind to this, so you could choke yourself out with this fragrance. This is my most worn fragrance in the last 12 months from the house easily. It is so good. It is a shame. Shout outs to my guy Omos, the Nigerian giant, Jordan. He video chatted me when he was in a perfumery because he came across 3 bottles randomly about 5 months ago, and he's like, should I get all 3? I said, well, you should at least get one. He bought all 3, and he's already put this much of a dent in one of them. And that man's a frag head like we are. He's got Xerjoffs. He's got all these different things. Some fragrances just do that. They're just that fragrance. Raja Parfum's Oligarch Parfum is that fragrance. This needs to come back. Raja Dove, if you see this video, I don't care what you got to name it. I don't care what you got to do. This needs to be back on the market. More people need to get their nose on this because it was not around long enough for most people to really understand and appreciate the elegance, the magnificence, and the show-stopping capability of something that is based around sweet citrus, greens, and woods could do. This is a showstopper. How to wear it, you name it, you're going to turn some heads with this one. Compliment factor, I don't give 10s on anything, but 10 out of 10. This is going to be a 10 out of 10. I can't imagine you walking by somebody and not every single person that smells it's going to say something, but they're going to be utterly impressed. I'm sure there's that one person out there that might even be watching in the chat to say, oh, that's how you felt about Musk therapy. That's how I feel about Oligarch. There's always exceptions to the rule, people, but you're going to be hard pressed to find that guy when it comes to this fragrance. Raja Parfum's Oligarch Parfum.
Bang,
is right.
Bang, bang, bang.
Don Juan DeMarco.
So good. Let's put one in there.
Let me get this. Let me get it. That. Hold on.
My God.
Woo! Like,
Jesus.
yeah. I've.
Bang, bang.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
Do you have it?
Man. I do not have it.
You need it.
I do not.
You need it.
I do not have it. I do not have it.
God,
Man, that's
it.
I mean, now that's such a gut punch. I'm gonna be honest. That's a gut punch that almost makes me want to go to my coup de grace. But I've already talked about that in another battle, so I'm not, because not many fragrances on this planet really rock with my coup de grace. But most people already know that, and I'm just going to go somewhere else with it. Although I think most people are going to know where I'm going next. And we're talking about spring. Now, one part of me wanted to go with a discontinued fragrance, but this fragrance is so beautiful. He just pissed you off because he talked about a fragrance that you can't get. And I would do the same thing.
I got to roll with the heavy hitter in this situation.
It's a wearing experience that if you have it, you have it, and if you don't, you don't. After I do my number one, I'll talk about it just on like a little extra drop, just because I want to go there. But anyway, okay, that was a heavy one. This fragrance here is one that I'm gonna talk about. Is one that I think you can't talk spring compliments, fun, luxurious day party, yacht party, brunch, city life. This is city life. When I think spring and summer in the city, any city, downtown Chicago, New York, Washington, D.C., LA, Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth. It doesn't matter what city you're in. You can be at Mardi Gras in the daytime getting drunk. This fragrance in the spring absolutely works. This is like gin in a bottle. This is from the house of Kilian.
Oh,
And this is Roses on Ice.
my man, they said you were going to bring that one out earlier. I knew it was coming.
When it is unisex.
Yes,
if you
I'm with you
need
on this.
compliments in your life, if you need them, if you seek them, if you hunt for them, if you are a distinguished gentleman or you are a passport bro who's looking to score out the country, it doesn't matter. This fragrance is going to get you what you need. I don't care if you're 22. I don't care if you're 60. I don't care if you're an old man in a retirement home looking to get you some gum. This thing will absolutely work, male or female. This is Hendrix Gin in a bottle, has a cucumber feel. It's fresh, it's gin, it's casual. I'll dress this up. I'll dress this down. I'll do whatever in the world I want to do with this. Listen, you control me while I'm wearing this, but I'm a week away to being what your woman like. So you better stop. This is what she likes. This is Roses on Ice. Occasions, I've already told you. It doesn't matter. Spring in a bottle, you can rock it. Projection and longevity. Come on, man. Talk to me nice. It's going to perform like a champion. Compliment rating and compliment factor. Forget about it. If you're a woman wearing it or a man wearing it, look, you're going to get the compliments. Just it's going to happen. If you don't like compliments, if you're an introvert, don't wear this fragrance. Type of person it's for. It's for people who like to smell fresh, different in the spring and summer, and wants compliments. It has a class elegance to it, but it's also simplistic. How to wear this. Depending on what you're doing. First date, I might go 2. Why? Because I really don't want you smelling me from across the way. I want to draw you in, so I might go 2 because I'm going to give you a hug, and you're just going to want to be next to me the entire time on that date. If we're out and about, so the date is outside, maybe we're going to go, like for me, I'm in the Washington, D.C. area. We want to go take a walk down at the harbor or somewhere. I might go 4 or 5 because we're going to be outside and I want to intermingling with everything else around me. 4 or 5, maybe 6. If we're going somewhere where it's going to be food and drink outside because I'm competing with that, I might go 8. If I go 8, just your girl's going to look at me. I don't want to fight. I don't want no problems. She likes what she smells. Don't be mad at me. Just get a bottle. And this is from the house of Kilian, and this is Roses on Ice. Talk to me nice.
I have smelled this one. I am going to talk to you nice on this one. I agree with all of that. I don't have the level of experience you do with missing 2/3 of your bottle like that. You know, that's a next level gent right there.
I'm buying me a 50 before the end of this year. I'm going to buy me a 50 ml because this is probably this is a fragrance I can't live without. Mm-hmm. I might have about 20 of them. I cannot live with. If I want to be known for smelling like something, especially in the spring, if I can only be known for smelling like one thing in the spring, I want to be known for smelling like this. That's just me. That's me on a personal level. That rocks.
All Man, right. the chat was looking incredible. There's one little floozy that just showed up throwing tomatoes. I can't stand that dude.
Well, which one is that? Whiskey Reaper?
That, yeah, I can't stand that.
Oh man, calm down, Whiskey. Listen, man, it's all love. Listen up.
No, he can put whatever he wants. I'm just
no. Hold on. Let me address something. Listen, everybody. We this is the Cipher. In the Cipher, we come in peace. We leave in peace. I don't know what y'all do on other lives, but we keep it respectful here. I don't tolerate. I let everybody in my house, but you're gonna take your shoes off, and that's just a respect thing. I love you all. I appreciate you all, but that's just respect the guests, please, that I bring on. I want to bring more people on. And after this battle, after he says it's number 1, I'm gonna tell you some more battles I have coming up. But please respect my house. That's it. That's man to man. Most of y'all men, y'all can respect the respect. I give it. I want to receive it. Let's move on. That's the only time I'm gonna address that.
So with my final one, when it comes down to being a part of something, you got to be proud of it, right? And most of what I've talked about with my 10 have been more geared towards the daytime, casual work settings, things like that. But what about the evenings? Got to gear towards the evenings eventually, right? And this one, while I wouldn't want it in a high heat situation in the summer, in the springtime, I feel like that's the final countdown for occasions to wear this fragrance. If you're looking for something a little bit more on the unique side, if you're the type that likes to kind of step outside the box with resins, musks, vetiver, and iris, we were talking about a lot of florals here in this video. Like I said, when you're a part of something special, you need to be proud to talk about it. And that's why I'm going with Evening Mystique, my own personal creation. This is one that more people need to get their nose on because you might be missing out. Occasions for this, again, geared towards the evening, milder days. You can absolutely wear this during the day. This has a very strong masculine appeal to it, though being featuring iris, it's not completely centered around iris. It opens up very herbaceous and aromatic in the top, a little spicy from coriander, starts to settle into this buttery Florentine iris, and then these resins and incenses start to take over. It's very smoky, balsamic, very aromatic, settles into a clean, creamy patchouli musk combo. And a lot of people have told me they get plenty of woody vetiver on their skin, though I personally don't get a lot of that. But if you're looking for nuance, you want layers to peel back, something that's going to change periodically throughout the wearing, throughout your day, you might want to get your nose on this one while there's still supply out there. Performance on this one, 10 to 12 hours easily on my skin. It's a 25% Parfum. Projection is on the heavier side if you spray it heavier. The sillage is where the magic's at because it's a higher oil concentration. The density of the cloud is a bit thicker than, say, an eau de parfum or an eau de toilette. So for me personally, I like to do in the 5 spray range. If you're the kind of more subtle type, you don't want to make too heavy of a statement with your fragrance, 2 to 3 sprays would be fine with this one. If you want to make the larger statement, you could go in the 7 to 8 spray range, but just know that on my skin, that's definitely on the heavier side. Compliment factor is on the higher end. I wouldn't call it a perfect 10 out of 10 like the previous fragrance, the Raja Dove fragrance that we talked about as far as getting compliments, because it is a little different. It's a little more interesting. It's not quite as mass appealing. It's more of an enthusiast level fragrance. This isn't the kind of scent profile you're going to smell at Macy's. And then I would say occasions overall, like I said, leans to the evenings. You can wear this more casually, but I would think dressed up is definitely where this one shines a bit more. And I don't mean suit and tie, suited and booted. I mean at least Oxford kind of range where it's not just a casual wearing type of situation. Again, that is my creation in collaboration with Zaharoff. This is Evening Mystique.
Now, I'll tell y'all, this is, if you didn't watch my Zaharoff live that I did, this was my number one until I smelled Leather Tobacco. Leather Tobacco, in my opinion, is the best fragrance that has dropped in 2023. It should be ranked. It should be ranked for the best fragrance of the year. And if it's not, the fix is in. But back on your fragrance, this is absolutely amazing. It gives me feels of like Dior's Bois d'Argent, but better and deeper and richer, but goes in different directions because both of y'all have that incense, iris, woody thing going on, but this has almost a green, like you said, herbaceous kind of feel, and the way that it changed. This is absolutely a stunning fragrance. I wore a lot of this in the month of December. This would have been an honorable mention had I did a top 10 out 2022 because December had ended. So to be fair and honest, I got this, I believe in December is when I got this. But no, that is a excellent, outstanding fragrance. Gentlemen.
Thank you, sir.
But
I had to throw it in there. You know, there's no shame in my game. I'm proud of this one.
Hey, you should be proud of that one. I told you that is a great, this was a good one, but it wasn't my favorite. And that's just me being honest, and I told you that.
No, I get it. This is a different level.
This one blew me away. It's very complex, high quality. So no, I really appreciate that. So we're gonna tally it up real quick before we go on. Who y'all think got this one? Let me find the chat for me, money in the chat for Ross. Let me see the crowd go wild. Let me see the thread go wild.
Let's see what it is.
Let's see what it is.
That was some heavy hitters in this video.
Yeah,
a
man.
lot of heavy hitters.
I appreciate it. I had a few discontinued gems that I was gonna drop, but I might have to save those for later. For those of you who are watching me, we're now at 318. Next week, I'm going up against my guy, the biggest entertainer in the game, Kuba Nose.
Biggest in the game.
The biggest in the game. We are going head to head. That topic is smelling like money. You want to smell expensive. You want to smell like a boss. That is what that fragrance is. Then the following week on a Saturday, I believe at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going up against one of the classiest, most cerebral, intelligent. Listen, anybody who plays instruments has a level of intelligence. Y'all know him, super nice guy. It's hard to dislike him. It's just an easy-going, straight-up person. I've liked his videos. I don't always get the comment, but I've watched them for years. And that's our guy, Justin Copeland. And we're doing, hold on. You remember what we doing, Rob? I forgot what we're doing. Hold on.
Well, you guys are doing, I don't remember the topic.
Hold on.
I can look it up.
I got it. I'm gonna look up the people because I just put that up a few days ago. Give me a second, everybody. I know this seems unprofessional because I should already know it, but I got a couple of battles set up. That's intoxicating fragrances. Listen, that's going to be a good one. Intoxicating
He's got some
fragrances.
heat too.
He has heat.
He's got some
man.
heat. When it comes to that topic, he's got some.
He got some heat. And then in April, I haven't ironed out all the details, but one of the fragrance reviewers who also inspired me to be in this game, I'm going head up against the perfume guy, Sebastian. We don't know what the topic's going to be, but that's going to be some absolute storytelling. You're going to need a pen and a sheet of paper. I'm going to have to pull out things that I might even have to still do some shopping. That's going to be a deep
Dude, that's a collection you got to bring it with.
That is
Sebastian's collection's ridiculous. It's one of the best in the game.
It's one of the best in the game. And then I have a few things I want to set up. So the Verscents battles are going to keep going. If you're a person or a reviewer who watches this channel, listen, man, reach out to me, hit me on my inbox. We're going to be doing also a series part of Versus called Clone Wars. Mm-hmm. I don't buy a lot of clones anymore because I buy 90% of my collection. I pay my own money. There's no need for me to buy clones when I have fragrances like Blue Sapphire. It's really no need for me personally, but I know there's people who have clones and they're getting into the game. We're going to let y'all get it off. Clone Wars. I know you have some, so you can give some people some work. And we going to do Clone Wars so people don't think all these are all expensive fragrances. Clone Wars is coming. We got more battles where I'm just going to be hosting. We're going to be bringing friendly competition. I'm trying to get Robes is down. Another legend, Robes is down. I'm trying to get Robes to go up against Max Forte and see what they want to talk about. We have to have a conversation with Max, so I don't want to put him on the spot. I've not had that conversation, but Robes is down to go against Max. So we're going to have some battles going on. Other than that, brother, I want to thank you. Any words for you?
Man, thank you so much for including me and doing this with me. This was fun. This was real fun. I love the format. Like I told you the other day, this is basically taking street battles and bringing it into our space. It's needed. It's not reinventing the wheel, but it has not been done in this space, especially not in this manner. You are coining it for yourself. I love it. Look at the turnout, man. You're clipping over 300 live chat viewers every time out with these. When it was Buck, when it was Darian, now with me, I'm sure it's going to be like that with Angel and so on. It's just going to continue to grow and grow. I love this lively chat, bunch of great people talking it up in the chat. I appreciate all of you guys for being here. I saw all those some massive super chats in the last couple of minutes. You guys have been throwing towards EQ. I'm sure he appreciates that. That's always great to see. As a friend of his, I love to see the support for him like this. If for some reason you're not subscribed to this channel yet, I encourage you. I mean, you just saw something really cool, at least in my opinion. Turn that red button gray and make that bell icon have a slash through it. Thank you so much for having me, brother.
I appreciate it, brother. Again, I'm going to end up being the Don King of this thing. We got Callie's room out there. Who want to go up against him? Me personally, I'm an instigator. I don't think none of y'all want to see him, especially you new reviewers. I don't think y'all want to see him. If you want to see him, hit me in my chat if you want that work. But we're going to get Callie's room up against somebody because he's a big supporter. So if y'all want that work, listen, inbox and IG is the best place to get a hold of me. Again, people, this is all love and fun. Y'all can argue amongst yourselves on who won. We're not selling anything. You know, no. I mean, Ross would like y'all to buy this. So check it out. Definitely get a sample.
That's the one thing I would appreciate if you purchase.
Yeah, like, you know, get a sample of that. But at the end of the day, these are all recommendations. Take it with a grain of salt. I'm not the king. I am not better than you. I'm not worse than you. I don't want to be you, and you shouldn't want to be me. But we can come together like sports, regardless of race, gender, pronoun, creed, and all come together and love the fragrance. And for me, it's about unity and respect. I don't always agree with people. I'm say here, I don't agree with Justin about Nishane Wulong Cha, but I respect that man at the end of the day. And it's all about respect. I don't have to agree with you, but I have to respect you as men and women in the game. Female reviewers, again, I'm putting it out there because I want to be an open space for everybody. If you want to come on, by all means, come on. That's the words from Ross, and y'all already know from me. I love you all. I appreciate you all. You all are the reason I keep doing this because I'll disappear for months, but I'm going to leave you the way I greeted you, and that's in the universal language of peace. Peace, everybody. Have a blessed night.